Hey everyone, a few weeks ago I created a video where I was kind of talking about the buyer's journey, and I wanted to kind of move that conversation towards how does this apply to an individual in the same way it applies to a company as we travel through this buyer's journey. And so what we've been doing is we've been creating blogs, and we've been using WordPress.com to create those blogs. And I thought I'd kind of give you a couple of tips here just to make your blogs a little bit more digital marketing friendly, a little bit more discoverable in terms of search engine optimization. So here's just a really quick, brief blog I've done inside of WordPress.com. Free site, a fantastic way to maybe try to do some creative writing, try to demonstrate yourself as a subject matter expert. Anytime you're learning something, it's really nice to create a summary of what you've learned, both for yourself in later times when you're thinking back to say, hey, you know what? I read something about that. I wonder what it was. And you can look back on it yourselves. But also, you're demonstrating yourself as a subject matter expert who actually understands that thing. And that thing might be really an important skill for the next opportunity that someone's considering hiring you. And so that's where I think it's worthwhile to explore this a little bit more deeply. So here is my quick blog that I threw up. And this is a quick digital marketing blog. I will use this blog as part of a YouTube video to demonstrate keywords, Hemingway app, and a call to action. And so that's my blog, basically. So under that blog, what I think we might want to do is say keywords I focused on. And here you're demonstrating to your readers that you've actually given some thought in terms of what words you're actually going to be intentionally using inside of your blog. For this blog, I want to focus on WordPress and digital marketing. And so you might think about what are some of the keywords in job descriptions out there, and make sure that you're using those keywords to demonstrate your ability in that area as related to some jobs, as related to what are some key skills somebody's looking for before they hire you. And it's not a bad idea to create an Excel spreadsheet and start documenting some of those keywords that you find consistently with different job types. In this case, WordPress and digital marketing would be the two keywords I focused on. And what I've done in order to enhance my search engine optimization, enhance discoverability when these things are being searched, is I've included WordPress in my header and digital marketing in my header. And I've kind of done that intentionally. And I've included these words right at the beginning. And so assuming that Google reads from left to right, the words at the beginning get more authority, if you will. And so I've done the same thing, not only in my header, but in my first sentence. And again, I've done this very intentionally. This is a quick digital marketing blog, period. And so this is where I think it's going to be more meaningful and more easy for Google to discover, and more easy for Google to put this piece of content in front of people before they're even aware of me, right? So before they're even aware of me, in terms of how are they going to discover me here, before they're even aware of me, I'm helping them solve a problem. They're interested in digital marketing, they're interested in WordPress. Here, when they're Googling or searching that, they're more likely to come across my blog because I've intentionally put those keywords in there to make it a little bit more discoverable. I've also inserted in here a readability score. What I've done for the readability score is I've used Hemingway Editor. And I really like Hemingway. I think it's a fantastic tool. I like it better than Grammarly. I like it better than just the word, just the native word spelling and word count kind of function. And here's why. Grade 5 readability. I've actually worked on this in order to bring it down to that level. And I've done that intentionally. There was some content from the Digital Marketer and other sources that talk about how the easier the readability, the more trustworthy the content is. We want to be clear and concise in what it is we're writing to make sure we're getting our message across. Of course, we don't want to interfere with our message. We want to be clear and concise in getting that message to our intended receiver. So this readability score inside a Hemingway app can be very good. And I try to go see how low you can go is kind of my motto here. And I like that, especially inside of our blogs. So again, we're demonstrating to the reader now, not only have I focused on keywords, but I'm also focused on a readability score. So here I put readability score, grade 5, good. I've also now started to think about links. And the reason I'm including links in here is in part to get us thinking about both links going out from our blogs to other sources. So for example, if you don't know the definition of digital marketing, here I've inserted a link into Neil Patel's digital marketing definition. I think this guy is brilliant. I really like all of his work. I use Ubersuggest, a tool he's given many times. Brilliant man. And so he's for sure an authority in this area. So I want my readers to be able to click on this link when they don't know what digital marketing is and go to the source. And it's super easy to do. Just highlight it, insert link, and always have that link open in a new window. Always click this button to have that source open in a new window. Perfect. All right, so I've included that link in there. And then part of what I'm doing here is I'm also starting to think about backlinks. And backlinks are other people's websites that are linking to us. So if I wanted to, I could reach out to Neil Patel, perhaps on Twitter, and say, hey Neil, I've created a really cool blog where I talk about you and how awesome you are. Would you consider linking to it at some point, or would you consider sharing it with your followers? And by sharing that content, especially on his blog, he's now providing me a backlink to my site. And what Google sees is Google sees a certain amount of his credibility shared with me, almost like a recommendation, if you will. And I think that's really critical. We want to be thinking more and more about these backlinks, if you will, as we're trying to increase the domain authority for our own websites. And what happens then is as that authority builds, when we're even buying keywords, because you have a higher domain authority around that specific topic, the estimated cost per click is likely to be lower because it is something, you are speaking about something of which you know quite a bit about. And your domain actually has some authority as indicated by other websites pointing to you as kind of that subject matter expert. So I put links in here as a way of consciously telling the audience. There are some links in here I've been very conscious of where I intentionally want you to link out to, but also to remind myself to try to get some backlinks coming back to my blog, my website, in order to increase my domain authority. And here is a specific call to action now. Interested in more? Connect with me on LinkedIn. So my call to action is to have people who read this blog, enjoy this content, who found me sort of organically based upon these search words, to be able to click on the link and find me here. Boom, there's Ray. Hey, how's it going, Ray? And connect with me there, and maybe we can have a conversation to continue to grow their marketing, or that we can continue to grow as humans and just share some knowledge, which is wicked. And so I've intentionally included that link there. What I've also done is put in my full name here. And the reason why is, as we travel down this buyer's journey, here in the awareness stage, we've kind of optimized using some keywords. As they read it, they might become more interested. They might even consider hiring us. They might even consider buying something from your company. I've included my name here like you'd probably include your own company's brand name. At some point, the company's brand name becomes really important. So they're already aware of that brand. They're already interested in that brand. At the consideration stage, they're more or less just now searching for that brand name before they make that purchase. Same thing holds true when somebody's considering hiring you. When they search your brand name, they're going to see what comes up. Well, because this speaks well of me, I want my blog to come up. So I'm going to intentionally leave these keywords on here. So when somebody searches Raymond Bilodeau or Ray Bilodeau, this is one of the things they hopefully find. just before they perhaps consider hiring me, or this is for sure something I want them to be seeing as part of their information search and as they're considering alternatives. Because the next step is basically the purchase decision. And so it still continues along that buyer's journey. And in fact, if we think about it, we can now start to buy keywords like digital marketer or like WordPress in order to get more volume, if you will, into the top of the funnel. And then as it goes along, we're likely to see some more conversions down here. Even in terms of job opportunities, if I was a small, medium-sized business, this would be exactly how I could do it. Create some content, and then we just basically, this funnel just becomes a really cool, virtuous cycle where if we make some dollars down here, we put some extra dollars into perhaps digital marketing where we're buying keywords, and hopefully we're increasing the awareness, which then we can drive down through the funnel in terms of hopefully some percentage of them buy from us again, and we continue to grow in that way. And that's where this becomes a really awesome virtuous funnel. Then afterwards, we absolutely want to also focus on the folks in the community who have purchased from us. We retain them. We continue to offer them other products beyond the ones they initially purchased, other services, and we continue to keep that loyal client happy, and hopefully they continue to give us some referrals. Cool. So also when we think about the awareness, we can also kind of go to and say, hey, you know what? Right now, my blog doesn't have very many visitors. In fact, if I go to my stats here, I have maybe one. That was probably me, to be honest. And so if I want to try to increase this awareness, if you will, what I can do is I can go to Twitter and maybe tweet something out. And I might even say to myself, hey, you know what? I'm going to use Google Trends Map and come up with what are some current trending hashtags, for example. And so as I look around, I'm up here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And so as I look around here, I might zoom out a little. We can look and see what's trending right now. So here, there's recap World Diabetes Day Inquiry Seoul. And if I click on them, they'll tell me a little bit about what it is here. And lots of political stuff. And so me personally, I don't like to jump in any kind of political stuff. I might try to find a more, still used, but a more non-political, something more interesting type of hashtag. So here I see SpongeBob movie. So what the heck? Maybe we'll use SpongeBob movie as a really bad example. But if I see this is trending down here, again, lots of political stuff happening right now. I don't really want to engage in any of the political stuff. But I am going to think about what are some hashtags that might be somewhat related to me. And so here is, so I could talk about maybe related to traffic or something. But as I go to my Twitter account, maybe I don't want to use any of those hashtags because they're all fairly unrelated. I still want to share my blog and try to increase the awareness of it. So what I can do is I'll go onto my posts and I'm going to choose this post that I just created. And I'm going to go to the sharing tab on the side. And here's a short link, and I'll copy this. And this will give me the type of link that I want to show people. So for example, I'll go here into new incognito window to kind of demonstrate that. So I'm going to put this in to see what would somebody see. And you should do this because a lot of people will, when they're at their WordPress blog, they'll share their login page as opposed to sharing where exactly you want people to go. And this is where I want them to go. Okay, perfectly. It works. There's my WordPress login. There's my WordPress blog. Perfect. So now I'm going to go back to Twitter and I'm going to tweet. SEM Rush, by the way, is an awesome organization. Maybe I'll reply to them. Hi at SEM Rush. I think you guys are awesome. I'm demonstrating a blog on hashtag YouTube, and I'd love for you to check it out so I can show the traffic. Thank you. Now, I don't know if they will or they won't, but here's the most important part. Don't forget to share your blog. What will happen is hopefully you'll get a little bit of a preview section here. Perfect. Looks awesome. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but we can track that engagement here. So I'm going to close this, and under my site stats, what should happen is hopefully we're starting to see some additional awareness. And so here what we should be looking for are clicks from Twitter and wherever you're sharing. So this could be Twitter, this could be Facebook, this could be Instagram, whatever groups you belong to. I would highly encourage you to share these things. And within those groups, look for volunteers to give each other backlinks to one another inside of those groups. And that's a really great way of increasing your credibility, really great way of increasing your domain authority. But that's basically what we want to do, is try to create some additional awareness, kind of top of funnel stuff, by sharing on Twitter, sharing on LinkedIn. Another really cool thing to do maybe is to just share a post. Hi, I'm creating a YouTube video and would appreciate you clicking the link to help me generate some traffic. Oops. And again, always important to include that link in there. Here's a really cool thing. Because my Twitter account is actually associated with my LinkedIn, I'm going to have it spread on both. And I'm going to share this again. Yeah, it's pretty annoying for my Twitter followers, but what the heck, I'm sure they understand. So now I've shared it here. So on my site stats, I might be looking for both Twitter followers and LinkedIn followers to see if anybody's clicked on this. So ideally, this becomes kind of a game where we're starting to think about where is our target market, who's most likely to click on this, who's most likely to respond on it, who's most likely to answer our call to action, and then we just basically want to keep on thinking about other places where we can continue to fill this top of funnel in order for that target market, if you will, to do our call to action, whatever that might be. In this case, I just simply have them wanting to connect with me on LinkedIn, but that's really what we're looking for. So that's kind of your really brief summary. Sorry, it's about like 15 minutes long, 18 minutes long. Sorry, it's a little bit long, but I hope this helps you. I hope you kind of see where the pieces of the puzzle all now fit together in terms of content we've created on our WordPress blogs, or the same things apply for an e-commerce website, and how that really connects well either professionally as an individual or on your website in terms of going along this buyer's journey. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate your time, and we will talk to you later. Hey, if you have a chance, please click and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Please like if you found any value in this video. Thanks. Have a great day.